Man, what a beauty. What's going on, you guys? It's Antoine, aka the Bigfella, bringing you another video. It's a beautiful day out here, about 72 degrees, and I feel like doing some crappie fishing. So I think we're gonna go ahead and do a catch and cook, and show you guys how I go about doing that, from catching it to cleaning it to cooking it. My little recipe for my batter and all that stuff. So sit back, stay tuned. Let's see if we can go ahead and get on some crappie. Alright, you guys, I'm here at the lake. Let me go ahead and unload this kayak here and see if we can get on a couple. Golly, man, I keep getting smacked, but they won't take it. That's bluegill. It's gotta be. Because it's like way too rapid to be crappie. It's more like tap, 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 tap. Instead of, like, you know, the one hard tap that the crappie do and they got it in their mouth. Do I have one that's smaller or something that's smaller that I can throw over in there? That's a fish. Whoops. Something told me to come back here first, but I didn't want to listen. There we go. That's like edible crappie. I'll keep him. All right, get to try out the new live well here. I mean, not the new live well, but with the upgrade. I can't jump out. Oh, okay. Just got another one on here. Okay, I found him. I got two. Let's see if I can get me a couple more. They kind of spread out. Like that one was like maybe 10-15 feet away from where I caught the first one. Yeah, they getting bigger now, y'all. Yes. Got 5 now, boy. Oh. Right at the boot. Damn it. Yo, nice one. Look. I knew. Yo, I just caught me a nice crappie, yo. I got a feeling I'm gonna have to get off the water here soon. Like, it's like cloudy, and I think that's why they started biting. But I'm hearing thunder rumbles now. I know they was calling for, like, you know, like slight thunderstorm this evening. I ain't trying to get caught up in that. I knew I wasn't losing my mind. I'm like, I know this lake still got crappie in it. Ain't no way. There we go. Ooh, another nice one. I'm able to get my whole thumb down in its mouth and still have enough room to, like, pull the lure out. All right, you guys, I'm loaded up. We got a nice little mess of crappie. Now I'm going to show you guys how I clean these things. All right, you guys, I'm back at the house. About to go in here and get the utensils I need to go ahead and get these things cleaned up. But here we are. That's my haul for the day.
Yes.
Alright you guys, I got the two most important tools that I like to use for cleaning fish, especially scaled fish. A spoon and a fillet knife. Let's go out here and show you guys how I'm going to put these to use. GoPro, start recording. Alright you guys, I got my little cleaning station set up right here. Got my two tools, spoon for scaling the fish, fillet knife for filleting them. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with one of the bigger ones. They're gonna be the easiest to fillet, and I'll show you guys a different way of cleaning the smaller ones. But you're just gonna take your spoon. I like to take my finger and stick it in the mouth. And the reason I scale mine is because I like to leave the skin on. But as you can see, scales come off pretty quick with a spoon. Flip them over, fingers back in the mouth. You may want to keep your mouth closed during this part. And if you got any goggles, if you don't want any scales in your eye, you might want to put those on, or glasses or something. I don't care, I've been doing this quite a while, so you know, a scale or two don't bother me. Now that we got that out the way, I'm going to take the fillet knife. I know people that can find the rib cage fairly easy. Start at the rib cage and go from there. But I start at the tail, and it's just easier for me. But I'm gonna take this guy here, right at the tail, cut vertically down until you hit the bone. Then I take the fillet knife. I kind of angle mine and go along the belly side first until I hit the rib cage there, and then kind of like get a good grip and go along the backbone. You kind of want to keep like downward pressure on your knife against the spine so you can get as much meat as possible. Sometimes you will run into the bone, so you just kind of back up a little bit. The fish is trying to run away from me. And as you can see on this fillet, I kind of went too far because I'm puncturing the innards. But woo! Oh, runaway crappie. It's all right. We'll just go ahead and give him a rinse as I keep dropping them. This right here is my fillet cleaning bucket. I got some holes drilled in the side of that. It's going to keep fresh water in there as the fillets tumble about. Now sometimes I will just, if I can get a good enough grip on it, I will cut through the rib cage down to this fin on the side here. I'm trying to get up underneath of there. And cut down. Then you got your nice big honking fillet here. Probably for this I won't get monetized. Now you see this is the rib cage right here. You can just take your fillet knife and cut that out. That goes in your trash pile, and this goes in your fillet bucket. No bones in this whatsoever. I do feel some scales on there, so I did a pretty crappy job scaling this thing. You may want to go over your fish, you know, just take your hands and rub it a couple times. But toss the fillet in there. It'll just toss around. The water will get a little bit bloody, but it'll come right out of the holes. flip this bad boy over and do the same. Down to the spine, I mean backbone or whatever you call that. Come on, knife. Go down. Boom, nice fillet. Straight to the bone, both sides. Go ahead and get the rib meat off. Now you can fillet just about any kind of fish like this. I fillet my catfish like this. As a matter of fact, I even leave the skin on the catfish. There's no scales on that. I leave the skin on, and just the extra step, I just take the fillet, flip it over, cut down, and then fillet the skin right off, and she's good to go. No fish skinner is required. Get this little piece off here because there is some bone in that. All right. One down, 10 more to go. Now the smaller guys like this, I just whole fry those. I'll show you how I do that here really quick. Let me not say whole fry because the head's coming off after you get all the scales and everything. This method is what I normally use for, like, if I want to eat bluegill or some of the smaller panfish, because fillets, you're not going to get too many fillets off of that. After you get your scales and everything off, I come right behind where the gill is. I cut straight down. Right through the head to the side, flip it over, go through the anal cavity, then you can take your spoon, scoop the guts out. Then you're going to want to take your water hose and, you know, spray out the cavity pretty good. And I like to puncture that little stomach lining there just to make sure there's nothing else up in there. But that's good. It can go right in the bucket. And that's how I clean my crappie fillets, or any fish for that matter. So I'm going to go ahead and knock out the rest of these, and we're going to go ahead and get the batter ready and fry them. Fillet cleaner working like a charm. Alright, you guys, I got all the fillets clean. I got them down there in my little fillet cleaner. Now I'm about to go ahead and pull them out and put them in this bowl. It has to be a Halloween bowl or else this won't work. No, I'm just kidding. But if you don't have a fillet cleaner like this, I mean, you can make one by drilling holes in the side of a 5-gallon bucket. Or if you don't have one of those, you can get you a big bowl like this, toss your fillets in there, and just keep changing the water out until it's relatively clear. I usually add some salt to the water to help speed up the process a little bit, to help draw the blood out. But that does just fine, and, you know, just regular salt water does just fine too, or just regular water, I'm sorry. Alright, you guys, making my batter is pretty simple. All you need is 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of cornmeal, and then you're going to need a 1/4 cup measuring cup because you're going to need a quarter cup of the rest of the seasonings that we're going to be using. I'm not going to use a measuring spoon because I kind of sort of got this thing down pat, and I'm probably using a little more than 2 cups of flour cornmeal mix because I like to save my batter. But let's go ahead and dive right into it, and I'll show you guys how I get this stuff mixed up. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and make this fish batter. I know I have this mix right here in this Zatarain's fish fry bottle. You can use this, but this for me is just flour and cornmeal. I decided to put it in like a little container. For every cup, you use an equal amount of cup of each. Like 1 cup of cornmeal, 1 cup of flour. That's all. I kept doing that and shook it up nice and neat until it's all mixed in here. Just a little bit easier. But get yourself a pan, dump that in there, however much you want to use. Now, some of the seasonings I use for this: Lowry's seasoned salt, Lowry's garlic salt, Old Bay, and some Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning to give it just a little bit of a kick. If you wanted to have a little more kick, marinate your fish in like Frank's Red Hot or Texas Pete or something like that, and then rub it around in this stuff and fry it. It'll be nice and hot. But let me go ahead and stuff this in my pocket. Now the key for me, sorry I had to go to the store and get this stuff. I was actually out of everything. The key is to not use too much of the salt products, because you don't want your fish to be too salty. I kind of like my fish to have a little bit of a salty taste, but not too much, not overpowering. Old Bay is what I'm actually going to use the most, so I'm just going to sprinkle a nice little coating on top. Sorry, I don't have measurements. Just a little bit of seasoned salt, then a little bit of garlic salt. And then, sorry, I gotta open this the hard way. Depending on how spicy you want your fish, just sprinkle a little bit of that on there. I kind of like mine a little bit hot. You just gotta take your fork, stir it up. I know this seems like a lot of flour mix, but I'm going to show you what I like to do once I'm done frying fish, and you can actually save it for later use. All right, so I think we're good. You want to make sure all the flour is like, one coat, one color all the way throughout. And we're looking pretty good. All right, we're good there. All right, you guys, I'm going to be frying this fish outside on my little propane heater. I'm just trying to get my grease to 375 degrees. I don't even know if you can see that. Where's the light at on this thing? There we go. It's at 375 degrees, and then we're going to go ahead and drop our fish in there. Now, while the grease is heating up, I like to take the fish and roll it around in the flour. I have some water in the bowl with the fillets because I want that flour to stick on there really good. So I roll it in the flour while the grease is warming up to let the flour dry on the fish, and it should stick to it really good. Again, Halloween bowl is definitely preferred. This makes it taste a whole bunch better. Now, I know I don't have a proper table on my front porch, but this bench does just fine. think that'll be our first batch there. Whoops. All right. Now, I do like to keep it covered up with the flour. Helps it dry on there a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. Now she's ready for the fryer. Alright you guys, our grease is ready. Now before you drop this stuff in the fryer, you want to go to shake off all that excess flour, because that's just going to sit in the bottom of your fryer and just overcook. All right, that's all the fish in the first batter. You're going to want to immediately get your next batch ready so that flour can dry on that batch as well. Okay. All right, set those down. All right, since these crappie fillets are thin and small, they should come out nice and crispy, and they should cook relatively quick. Yeah, see, they're starting to brown already. They're smelling delicious. Not quite done yet. Want them to be floating a little bit more. After about 5 to 7 minutes, your fish should start floating. And once it starts floating, you just let it cook in there until it gets to like how brown you want it. The floating part tells you it's done. Brown part is particularly your preference. Alright you guys, now the question of what to do with the rest of this flour. I got me an old ice cream bucket here. You can use Tupperware or whatever. Just dump it on in there. Yeah, this mess is going to be fun to clean up, I know. Alright. Throw that over here. Now, if you got it in a Tupperware bowl or container like this, you can actually take your fish fillets, throw it in here, put the lid on, give it a nice little shake, 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 and it stays coated while it's in there. Now this you take and throw in your refrigerator. For some reason, I've noticed that when the flour's in the this mixture is cool, it sticks to the fish a little bit better as well, especially if the fish is cold. Don't ask me why. I don't know the scientific reasoning behind it, but it just sticks to the fish. For me, it seems like it anyway. Voila, fresh fried crappie. Delicious. Well, there you have it, guys. There's my catch and cook video for you. Just keep in mind that with some of the bigger fish like catfish and stuff, you're probably not going to be able to run that fillet knife all the way through the ribs. So you are going to have to stop at the ribs and cut and then fillet back out towards the tail. And real quick before we end the video, I wanted to remind you guys that there's probably a contest of some sort going on my channel right now. Just scroll down a couple videos, you'll probably find it. I'll link the most recent one in the top right hand corner. There's actually 2 going on right now, as a matter of fact. We got the MTBMB contest and then the Menace Baits contest as well. So you guys can go enter both of those for a chance to win some free fish and stuff. Also, if you like this video, make sure you smash that like button and leave me a random comment down there in the comment section. I love talking to you guys down there. And if you would, please follow me on my social media accounts. They're flowing right here at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. You'll be able to keep up to date with what's going on, or I may be coming to fishing in an area near you, and you can definitely come out and join me. I'd love to have you. But that's all I got for you guys. It's getting kind of windy out here and kind of chilly. I think the temperature is going to be dropping, unfortunately. So fishing is probably going to be slow this weekend. I may still try to sneak out and try to get wet a line a little bit and see if we can get on a couple fish. But that's all I got for you guys. So I want to thank you very much for watching this episode of Bigfella Outdoors. Be sure to tune into the next episode. You can catch me outside doing what I love most, getting my dose of the great outdoors. Be sure to get y'all's too.